Hi and welcome to Sketching the World. I'm Kat, an artist from Australia, but my dream is to sketch the world. Most recently, Japan 2024. Yeah, I've just got back from a month in Japan. I've got quite a few videos about that trip on my channel if you haven't watched them already, but none of those videos show my completed sketchbook. So I'm back with the sketchbook tour. I didn't actually plan that. It wasn't like, oh, I'll be so mysterious and not show my finished sketches until I do the sketchbook tour. It's just more laziness than design. So yeah, Japan 2024. Let's get started. First page is blank. I was going to do some fancy cover page. I never did. I probably never will. That's bad. This I did on my first morning. I arrived late at night, stayed at a hotel, and then stumbled down to get my coffee at this Excelsior, which is a big coffee chain in Japan, and did this. Was a nice Excelsior. It had a little terrace, outside terrace, where I could sit and sketch. Outside terraces aren't that common in Japan. Like, I'm from Melbourne. We have so much al fresco dining. But yeah, in Japan, it's just starting to become a thing. So it was good to sit out and just draw the street. The McDonald's, Royal Host, Pronto, Mizuho, that's one of the banks. And that was all in the Derwent drawing pencils in the reduced, all the muted colours. So then, next, that must have been my first day. I went to my apartment, got all settled in, and did a still life of the stuff on my desk. Oromon C. It's a little like vitamin C drink. Pouring, love Japanese pouring, and Pockery Sweat. And that was in the markers I took with me. I wasn't really happy. I took these, if you've seen my packing video, I took these markers. They were all a bit dry, and I wasn't getting the kind of nice juiciness that I wanted from them. So I ended up doing a couple of sketches and then just putting them to one side. I should go through them actually and do a really good test and see what's worth keeping in them, but not today. So I showed sketching this on my vlog, my Japan vlog. I went to the park, cherry trees were still in blossom, and again I was using like fine liner pen and the markers. The markers were great for doing the blossoms in the tree. It was so easy doing that with them. And I've been tossing up. I don't like the angle of this road. It needs to be a bit. But anyway, so nice to actually see the cherry blossoms. I thought I was going to miss them. I thought I was getting there too late, but they waited for me. So then, there was this woman trimming the hedge, so I thought I'd do some quick sketches of her. I really have her looking like Edward Scissorhands, right? She looks like this crazy scientist that's doing mad experiments, which I kind of like. These were very quick sketches because, she's moving around a lot. Then I went to Gifu. I've also got a blog up about Gifu where I show sketching this. And so this is Nobunaga, very famous samurai from Gifu. And there's a statue of him at the station. And this was all done in pencil, combination of the Derwent drawing pencils and the Caran. Next, this is Gifu Castle. I kind of feel like I got a bit started it and it's unfinished. There's a reason for that. I remember now. It started raining, so I had to pack up all my gear and run for shelter. And then I went and sheltered in the museum. So this was some samurai armor. I really like this. I did a really dark shadow in graphite pencil while I was there, and then I didn't like it, so I rubbed it out. But this is the samurai armor. And then on my way home, I called into a little cafe, really nice little cafe in Gifu. I have no idea what it was called. But just sitting there sketching at the counter. They had these sort of pipes that they had flowers in. And it was fun. I rarely work in black and white. But it was fun doing this sketch just in the fine liner pens, some of the brush pens and everything. Something a bit different for me. And yeah, I kind of like how that's turned out. Then this is when I went to Mino. I also showed myself sketching this. Mino is this town near Gifu, very famous for their washi paper. And this was one, there's a whole street, a few streets, an area that have the traditional Japanese houses. So I sat down and sketched one of them. I'm quite happy with how I did this Japanese tree. I think I really captured that Japanese tree style quite well. Then I got back to my hotel. I'd ordered Uber Eats because I was, couldn't be bothered going out. I needed some rest. And while I was waiting for the Uber driver to turn up, I just sat in the lobby and did the sketch of the street. And quite happy with how the cars turned out in this. This is all Derwent drawing pencil. Quick sketch. I actually did about half of it in the lobby, and then my food turned up, so I took a photo and finished it later. Then, well, these are the stamps you get. I got these when I was in Sekigahara. I was going to draw a self-portrait of me in my samurai armor. I might still go back and do that. I was looking at this one. It looked really familiar. Why is that samurai crest so familiar? And then I realized it's the Japan Airlines logo. Well, it might not be exactly the logo. It's very similar though. So, yep, hit Osaka, and this was the view from the window of my hotel room. I've got some of the process of this in that video. So, yeah, this one I used pencil and neocolors. Getting neocolors to sort of do those big blocks of colour and adding a bit of water. Sometimes I don't like using neocolors with water, but for this, yeah, I wanted to get some of the reflections on the buildings and everything, so they were a good choice for that. Then this is Osaka Castle. I've got also this in my video. I was intending to go back and add the sky so that the whiteness of the castle really showed out. I might do that. I might do that today. Maybe, and come back and show you how it looks after I've added the sky in. And you can say, oh no, you shouldn't have added the sky in. It's ruined it. Then, yeah, this was around the city. Osaka is such a bright, in-your-face city, and all the shops have all these like big octopuses and dragons and everything. Octopus, they love octopus. Takoyaki in Osaka. Round balls of dough with octopus in it. It's the Osaka specialty food, but I don't really like it that much, to be honest. Yeah, so I wasn't happy with how this the octopus turned out. I liked the octopus, but I felt like it had no context. And I've got this paper because the neocolors do smudge so much. So yeah, I did this just to have a bit of context for that it's this octopus on the roof of this little kiosk selling takoyaki bowls. Then I caught the cruise, not the cruise, it wasn't a cruise, no luxury cruise, that's for sure. The ferry from Osaka, and I didn't do any sketching the first night on the ferry boat. I mean, it was dark when I got on, and it was really hard. Like if you went out on the deck, you just about blew away. But the next day I went to there's a room where you can just sit and look out the portholes, and yeah, lots of boats going past. Quite nice. I sketched this with my Derwent pencils, and this one I think I at this stage had put all my Derwent pencils into this little box because it was easy to carry around, and just added a few of the luminance colors. So added in like that orange because there's no bright orange in the Derwent drawing pencils, and I think maybe that green, so that I had a green. Hey, that's my pencil case with my pencils that I've been looking for. It's right there. Oh, I'm getting blind in my old age. So, yeah, I got off the ferry and there was a shuttle bus that took you to this town called Kokura. And I was just so exhausted that morning. I was like, I hadn't slept on the ferry. The beds were so hard, and I had to go to Fukuoka to catch the plane back to Tokyo. And I was just like, I don't want to do anything. So I went and sat in the Starbucks and did this sketch. And meanwhile, it was really weird. All these people, there were these steps here, and people were standing on the top of the steps taking photos of something. So I thought I'll go out and have a look, and I popped my head up. And one of the buildings in the town was on fire. There was all this smoke coming out of it. I didn't take photos, but yeah, it was quite odd and a little bit disturbing, but it was far enough away that there wasn't any danger. In my Tokyo vlog, I showed this. I went to a coffee called Onibus and sat at the window, and you could see the train station and, rose bushes and everything. Really lovely little cafe. And yeah, again, this is mainly in Derwent drawing pencils. I added the roses in later because the Derwent drawing pencils don't have that really bright red. There's only sort of a terracotta. So I really wanted to get the roses popping there, and yeah, added it later. Then, yeah, headed to Niigata. I feel like I was just editing the video of when I was in Niigata, and this picture looked a lot better when I first started it, like early on. In the early on stage, it looked a lot better, and now I'm not that happy with the finished one. But yeah, it was nice sitting in the sun sketching anyway. Then I went further along the beach, and there was this like little houseboat thing, weird little houseboat on a boat. So I couldn't resist drawing it. I added this guy in later. This is Neocolor 2. Then for some reason I skipped a page. Oh, I like this one that I did. I like how I've got this sort of mark making going on here in the background. The boat. Added a bit of Neocolor there. It was kind of hard sketching this. I couldn't actually see, like I was sitting and the wall came to about here when I was sitting down. So I had to keep standing up, looking, sitting back down, sketching. But yeah, this is mainly in pencil and Neocolor. This is Neocolor. I kind of feel the Neocolor might have been added in later. And yeah, all this done in pencil, bits and pieces, and yeah, the trees. Then I did this from a photo. I'd taken a photo. I don't even know where the photo was taken, but yeah, I did this, took the photo, and I think at this stage I was starting to get sick. I was starting to get the flu, wasn't getting out of my room much. So yeah, drawing from a photo was at least hitting, like, sort of, when I want to get out and sketch, but I can't because I'm too sick. So sort of scratch that itch. Then this was sitting in a cafe. There was just a girl and someone walking past. Not a very exciting scene, but I like these lights. And yeah, that's mainly pencil. I'm just wondering what this blue is. That could be one of these pens. No, it's not. It's the ink pen I bought. If you watch my whole video, I bought an ink pen when I was in Hokkaido, and yeah, I wanted to test it out, so I was playing around with the ink pen. So that's a Pentel ink pen, and not sure about this picture. Then when I was in Shinjuku, I sat down on the street and did this sketch. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I really like this. It's such a strong piece, that parking sign. 2,000 yen for 12 hours. Yeah. That tree. I was having trouble with this tree because I only had light greens with me at the time. Nothing really dark. I might go back and add some darker green to it. So it kind of, it doesn't have that fullness, doesn't have the solidness that I would have liked. So this one is a quick sketch. I was sitting, eating. I'd done the background earlier. And went to this shopping strip and was sitting eating and just, quickly sketched while I was eating. That's all in pencil over the gouache background. Then this one, I've taken a photo. I was walking past this station. I was driving in a cab past the station, and I really liked this scene with all the cranes and everything. I drew it. I feel like I haven't captured what I wanted to capture about the scene. That kind of, I've missed the main point there. I don't hate the sketch in itself, but yeah, I feel like I've missed the main point of what I wanted to show. I do like this woman's vest. That's my favourite bit. And this is the end. I went drawing pencils, Caran d'Ache pencils, little bit of, that could be my magic pencil. Also, I've got the Chinagraph yellow that I use so I can get the brightness. And yeah, I always call them highlight, fine liner pen, and then I use that ink pen to do the background. I think I'll revisit this at another stage and try it again. Then, this was when I was getting so frustrated, being stuck in my hotel, not my hotel, in my apartment. It's like, I'm never going to get out of this apartment. My whole trip to Tokyo is just me being sick and bad. It's so frustrating being sick when you're traveling, when you're on holidays. And it's like, oh, I could be sick at home for free instead of paying money to be sick at this apartment. So anyway, I did a still life, sickness still life. And this is done in pencil, the Chinagraph yellow Chinagraph pencil I was talking about, and a bit of neocolor. I kind of not that happy with this area, the desk area. I do like how I had panda tissues. They were so soft on my nose. Like, they were the best tissues I've ever used when I have had a cold ever. It was like an embrace for my nose. So yeah, even when you're sick and you're getting frustrated, there's something you can sketch. Then I was heading over to Kenozu Isle, and I had to wait for ages for the bus. So this is, yeah, little shopping strip near where I was staying there's a station there, but also a lot of bus stops, and yeah, just waiting. And I actually got like really immersed in the sketch and looked up and my bus was there, so I had to grab everything and chuck it into my bag, and then I got on the bus, and then my suicar, like my card for the public transport, didn't have enough money on it. Oh, it was like one of those, where you just look like you're very disorganized. Well, I was. That's why I was disorganized, because I was. But yeah, so this was the shopping strip. I wish I hadn't done this lamppost the same color as the background behind it. That kind of bugs me. But yeah, a lot of things I like about it. The stairs, mainly. The stairs are what I like most. Then this was, yeah, in Kenozu Isle. I was sitting there. I wanted to do some gouache painting because I hadn't used my gouache paints the whole time I'd been in Tokyo. So this is a combination of gouache and pencil. I really like, yeah, how this colour's gone on these buildings. It really gives that feeling of the light hitting the building and everything. Things I don't like are this whole area here. I like this chick, how I've got her sort of hunched over. She looks a bit like the girl from The Ring, walking her dog. And, I forgot to say, did I say? Yeah, it's gouache and coloured pencil anyway. So that's the thing there. Then I walked along a bit and I did this. I think this was when I was having my dinner. I went to this restaurant. They gave me this really weird, it sort of said that it was a pea and cauliflower soup on the menu. But when I got it, it had all these weird things in it. Like these little fishy jelly things. And it was weird. But I did this sketch while I was there having dinner. Again, I think this could benefit from having the sky done in it. Then just another quick sketch. I was actually enjoying with these, just turning the buildings into a pattern. Obviously more detailed at the front, but yeah, sort of playing around with just doing patterns, just doing stripes or whatever. and giving the impression of buildings rather than trying to get too much detail. So all this bit here, want to do more of. Okay, I've had to refilm some of this because when I look back through my footage that I got the other day, the shadows across the page were just getting insane. Like there were these two really dark lines. You could sort of see it gradually happening. And then it just got to the point where you couldn't actually see the picture. It was very distracting. So yeah, this one I did while I was eating dinner. Sun was starting to set. I really wanted to get that sunset, the sort of, sunsetty sky, and it's really hard. It's one of the hardest things, I think, because you're trying to get those yellows and blues, and of course if you have them mixing on the page, then you just get green. But yeah, this was just a quick sketch of the buildings as the sun was setting. Next up, this is my favourite sketch in all of my sketchbook. I was at this little cafe and there were these two people at the table next to me and I couldn't help but sketch them. So yeah, this is all in coloured pencil, mainly the Derwent drawing pencil. The red is, I was going to say polychromos, but no, it's Primacolor, poppy red, Primacolor. So yeah, and yeah, most of that was done on location. I had a little bit of colour later. Next up, I went to there's a cultural centre in Osaka. It's a pretty new thing, I think. And if you go up to the top floor, you can sit in the cafe. There's a cafe and there's a lookout kind of place. From the cafe, you've got this view all over. This is the temples or shrines in Osaka, I would say. Anyway, so, and then in between you've got these shops, the Nakamise shopping area. And yeah, fantastic view for sketching. I've got a bit of me sketching there in my Tokyo sketching vlog. And this is the finished picture from this session. This is, again, all in coloured pencil, mainly the Derwent drawing pencil. And I've used this green is Caran luminance. And the yellow is, I'll just get that guy. I've used that a few times. Writes on everything, water soluble. Mitsubishi Rainbow. And yeah, it's one of those, I guess, what do you call them, like a Chinograph pencil or something. And I really like it because you can get those yellows that really pop. I find it really hard to find a bright yellow pencil, and that's why I bought it, because I wanted the really intense bright yellow. Then this one, I went up to the observation deck, and my favourite building in Tokyo, the Tokyo Skytree. I've got it a bit wobbly here, but yeah, it was getting really stormy, and my main thing, I wanted to get that really stormy sky in the neocolor. I actually did some of it later because it was just getting really hard, to get this sort of mixture, and that it takes a lot of hand strength. And I was sitting in this, wasn't enclosed. It was an observation area, so two sides were open, and it was quite stormy, and there was rain coming in and everything. So I tried to get this done as quickly as possible so that I didn't get wet. And yeah, this was done in neocolor. All in neocolor crayons. I'm pretty happy with that, with my wobbly sky tree. Then this is the last sketch I did on my Tokyo, Japan, not Tokyo, vacation. I was at the airport. I had to get wheelchair assistance at the airport, and the girl took me down to the gate and left me here to get something to eat. And she didn't just leave me. She went off to help other people and said she'd come back when I had to get on the flight. And yeah, these were some people in the eating area. I didn't really get a lot of time to finish this. She come back faster than I expected. And yeah, these people kept getting up and down, so I didn't really have time. Well, there was about 4 of them, and I didn't get them all in. I added in this blue background and this checkerboard, which isn't actually, I should have done it a bit more. But anyway, yeah, quick little sketch at the end of the trip. And then on the plane, I just slept. And then at the back of my sketchbook, woohoo, we've got some stuff from the Matisse exhibition. You couldn't do a lot of filming at the Matisse exhibition. There was one area where you could take photos, you couldn't take video at all. So I thought I'll just do my own sketches of things. And so, yeah, this was one of the ones I really loved from my trip too. So all the people looking at the big cutout picture on the wall. And I thought I had another one there, but I don't. So that was my Tokyo sketchbook. Thanks for joining me while I chatted about all my sketching. We'll just go back. There was one picture that I changed. This was Osaka Castle. And I wanted to put a blue sky in that to make the white of the castle pop out more. And yeah, so you put all this blue into the sky and put a bit of color around here. Really does show sort of the samurai armor and the castles. They look very similar. And yeah, there was a couple of others where I just added a little bit of color. This one I tried to put greens in. The moleskin sketchbook paper can go a bit splotchy if you're using wet media on it. Like with the thick opaque gouache, it's fine, but with watercolor, yeah, you can sort of see all this texture coming out of the paper. I mean, it's not something I love. You could probably do a few coats and get rid of it, but then... So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you liked today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps me and it helps you by telling the algorithm what you like to see on YouTube. So, yep. See you next time on Sketching the World.